Okay, let's hope that it doesn't go wrong today, guys. You see how I always ask, am I live? Is my mic too loud? No, it should be okay. You see how I always ask, am I live? Now you guys know why I do that, alright? Because it's incredibly frustrating. It was my worst nightmare that played out yesterday. But let's get into the TA. Guys, I just want to make sure, please tell me, is the audio okay? Yo, and Chewy got him, awesome. Is the audio okay, the video, all that good stuff, please let me know. And yeah, I mean, quick shout out, 49 people ready to watch the stream here early. Shout out to the VIP members watching as well, I see you guys here. You're live and good, thank you very much. Okay guys, well, you know, I did post, in brief, what I wanted to go over in that stream. But really, before I do go into those kinds of things as well, guys, what we're looking at is, you know, like I mentioned, I did call, we were going to see a bit of a pump, alright? What we had in the market was really bad sentiment when we were on a very long-term support area, alright? We were going down for a decent while, and so I just felt like we were ready to go up. There were a few factors that I negated, that I thought that maybe this is going to debunk what I'm saying, but I'm gonna say it anyway, and that was the longs. I can't remember where, but the longs were very high whenever I made that signal, you know, going hand in hand with that, the shorts were very low. And I had a question, somebody asking me today, what do you mean when you talk about the shorts? What do you mean when you talk about the longs? So I'm gonna go through that real quick for those of you who don't know what it is. Guys, longs are where people are betting that the price is going to go up. And so what we see on this chart is on Bitfinex, how many people, or rather how many positions there are going long on Bitcoin right now. So this is the quantity, not the value, the quantity. And so that is 33,400 contracts going long. And we go over to the shorts here. What we've got is 23,000 contracts going short. So you guys who know about how to analyze this already will probably have an idea of what I'm going to say next. But, you know, we go over to the Bitcoin trend now, and, you know, really what we're in quite clearly is just another rising wedge, and I'm honestly surprised that we're still playing out this trend. I thought that stuff was past us, but apparently it's not. We're still playing within the same trend. Now, guys, yesterday I made the signal in VIP. I'm selling 20% of my Bitcoin, alright? So that's done. I've sold it into fiat. I've kind of lost faith. I haven't lost complete faith because it was only 20%, but that's a decent chunk. You know, if you imagine a 20% loss on, say, $100,000, you're down to 80 grand, and that is a pretty big deal, alright? So I'm not taking this lightly. I called it earlier, you know, when we go up, I'm going to be selling a bunch of my Bitcoin, or a bunch of the crypto I own, rather. And so that's exactly what I did, alright? See, the reason was, you know, what I posted in gold is that we saw a massive sentiment shift over what, like a $600 move, and that is not okay, alright? That shows you very, very dangerous emotional volatility. And the way it looks like, we're already in another rising wedge, alright? And so it's a rising wedge within a downtrend. We're fighting that trend by going up. We're gonna break down. And I think that when we break down again, just all this emotional rubber banding is exhausting, alright? And these are real people we're talking about, so you can only do it so many times. And guys, I genuinely think that the next time this is going to happen, we are going to see a massive capitulation run. And I hate spreading FUD like this, alright? I'm a Bitcoin maximalist. I love Bitcoin. It's in my veins. You know, I feel so in tune with it. God, I'm going to regret saying that now, but you know, I love it, right? So I don't want it to go down, but at the same time, I want to accumulate more, and this month has been my best month of trading. Sorry, June, we're in July now. June was the best month of trading I have ever had in all of crypto, and that was in a bear market, alright? That was in a bear market. I've accumulated the most I ever have in a bear market, and so that tells you, you know, you can make profits going down. It's still definitely possible, and you know, things like this shouldn't make you feel scared. You know, if you go short and you're riding Bitcoin as it goes down, and you go with, you know, 10x, 15, 25, whatever, you know, you are gonna make very, very good Let's say you put in a short now, and I'm not saying to do this, alright, because I'm not entering any positions yet. Guys, I put a post out in VIP, but I will share it with you guys. Let me just go ahead and read that real quick. You know, the main idea here is that I see a lot of people taking up margin positions, and that's okay. You know, I don't control what you trade, but my signals are clear-cut. It's what I'm doing, and if it's not what I'm doing, I'm saying it's what you can do, but I'm not comfortable in a certain position. And so what I'm seeing is a lot of people playing these short-term swings. You know, we go over to the 5-minute candles, and there's nothing wrong with this, by the way. All right, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this. I'm just giving you some information on caution, right? And that is, you don't want to be shorting or longing positions when you're in the middle of a range. And so if you're, you know, if you're going 100x long over here and you ride this up to 6400, you are going to make amazing gains. All right, that's a pretty, you know, I don't even know, maybe 2-3x or something. But if you're just, you know, if you're putting in a normal short, right, and you expect to ride this down to 58, potentially lower, and you do it over here, I just don't think it's a good idea, all right? Not until we get further confirmation that 6400 is the low, the high. And the reason it might not be, guys, is we've got a falling wedge within this small uptrend. Now, I don't think it's going to play out. I do, like I said, I called it. I do think 6400 is the bottom, but if it wasn't, sorry, is the top. But if it wasn't, and this turns out to be a falling wedge, and we go back up, and you've got a short in, you're going to get wrecked, right? So the way I trade, guys, is I trade at key levels only, all right? I don't play the short-term swings. I'm talking about the key levels only, and then it's just a case of predicting, is it going to go up or down? And obviously there was more in favor for it going up when I made that signal saying it's going to go up. And so if you're taking a short and we don't have distinct confirmation that 6400 was the top, then the top we have to believe is 6800, all right? That is the next major, it is major resistance. You know, we go over to this VPVR indicator, and 6800 is where we have the most volume traded. Not anymore because I've zoomed out. So, sorry, zoomed in. 6800 is the biggest area of resistance. This is where the most volume is traded, and so it's where Bitcoin is going to have the toughest time breaching above. I don't think it is, because there are no buyers in this market at the moment. Like I said, it's all bots in this market at the moment. A few retail traders here and there getting wrecked, but apart from that, it's not looking good. And so, you know, what I said in VIP here is if you're trying to take a margin position, you have to be 100% sure that 6400 is the top. And I think it is, but I'm not 100% sure. So I haven't gone short, alright? I would have made some good profits writing it down $100, but I'm not doing it. It's not worth the risk. Now, if we hit 6800, and that's a completely different story, alright? Because 6800 is a very strong resistance, and we're probably going to get rejected. And so that's a definite area you can go short. It's the same reason I called 58, alright? 58 is a long-term support. It's very important in terms of a level for Bitcoin. If I zoom out here, you can see how the trend has always fallen. How many times, you know, it's fallen or risen up to this 5800 line. It's very clear. And so I was confident that this is a level where you can go long, alright? I still didn't think it was a good idea, but if you looked at the potential risk to reward, alright, we had our stop loss at $57.50, $50 behind, and our potential profit levels were 6,200, 6,400, and 6,800. So we had insane profits, and you guys have already seen them. Just a few messages, you know, 414% return on a 50x. Now, you should never go 50x, but this guy said that he was playing with a small amount, so that is still perfectly fine. You know, if you're just messing around and trading with small amounts, as long as you don't get carried away, you are fine. You know, 400%. And gains aside, you know, from experiences like this, making gains, you're learning very important things. And, you know, just another, you know, so much amazing. These are only two of the screenshots, you know, from chats I've had, but this is definitely not the only kind of thing I've been getting. You know, he was skeptic at first, but he's been able to pay off months for his VIP membership. So guys, if you are interested, join the Telegram channel down below. Hit me up. My name is at the bottom of each gold post at 4flies, and I will get you in. So definitely well worth checking this out. Now guys, as for what I think is going to happen now, you know, like I said, sentiment has shifted. Just, it's like a seesaw, right? It just went completely up and very positive. And what have I done? How do I zoom in? Yeah, so it's just gone so positive right now, and, you know, we consider now is when I think, you know, before I ignored it with these shorts and longs, but now is where I think that these shorts and longs are becoming a little bit concerning, all right? Shorts are at a bit of a support, you know, support region. Longs are at just, you know, pretty strong resistance. I mean, it always gets rejected from here. And we can see it already has slightly on this daily chart. You saw it more clearly with the 4-hour chart. And guys, I just don't think it's going to be able to return to all-time high levels, which were about 40,000 contracts. You know, we consider there is a 10,000 contracts difference between shorts and longs. Let's actually overlay these, if I remember how to. Do I? No, I don't think I do remember how to overlay them. That's a shame. Oh no, right, got it. So let's shorts. So yeah, I mean, shorts and longs were at an all-time high, relatively close to each other in terms of a time frame. I mean, this might have been a week or two, but at the moment, you know, when we've got such a large disparity, you guys can see it playing out all the time. You know, this is like an O shape. You know, the shorts forming a U and longs doing whatever that shape is. You can see how it balances each other out. And so, you know, if this was the bottom for shorts, and it certainly does look like it forms a very nice cup and handle sort of formation, then it definitely looks like shorts will be rising and longs will be falling. And so what does that mean? Well, plain simple terms, it's a long squeeze. This was just a relief pump. And so we will be going down, and you know, we've already been declining. So like I said, I had that sell signal. It's doing pretty well. You know, I've already saved myself from some decent losses. So that is great. And, you know, once we get more confirmation that 64 is the top, you know, I'm looking at things like trading volume, which, by the way, we've got a lot more volume on these red days than we do on green days. And so that's telling you we are biased towards going down. All right, that's really important stuff. You need to always look at the volume. I mean, it's such an underrated indicator, even when it is highly respected by many in the space. You know, what we've got on this 4-hour EMA ribbon is actually a support forming. So you can see we've bounced off this EMA ribbon just a little bit, but it hasn't really been a sustained rally. I mean, this is a bullish candle, definitely, but followed by a doji and potentially another doji. Not a good sign, all right? So, you know, factor in this ribbon is very thin. It's not a good support. I mean, it's still looking bleak. And we go over to the daily, and we are squarely in this EMA ribbon resistance, and I've gone over EMA ribbons at length before. I'm going to make a separate video on it very soon as well. But when you've got a ribbon that's so thick, and we've already been rejected by it once, you know, we've been rejected by it again here and again previously and again. You know, I just don't see what's different now that's going to send us through this EMA ribbon. What's different now that's going to send us through our Ichi resistance over here? Let's get this on. You know, I mean, we are right in the middle of this cloud right now. And when we were in there before, we got rejected. And before that, you know, and we touched it, nearly touched it earlier. So, I mean, this is 3 times in a row. We've already been rejected by the Ichimoku cloud and the EMA ribbons. And I just don't see what's going to be different this time. And so there is no reason for all this euphoria in the space. I hate to say it, but I am still bearish because of that. I think that is most of my TA done for this video, though. You know, I mean, just mix in some fundamentals. Of course, the fundamentals are strong as ever. Things like the ETFs, which are coming very soon. Real big money entering the market coming soon, all right? The futures closing and the futures opening in tomorrow, actually, CME futures. Let's go over to my Bitfinex chart. And, I mean, we are right there, so what we could, you know, we've already had a reversal. I called it so many times that it was being brushed off by some people. I'm surprised that, you know, this kind of thing wasn't taken seriously, but, you know, I called a reversal with our futures closing, and of course it didn't explode, like I said in my title, but it was still a price reversal, and we still made insane gains because of it. Kind of a no-trade zone, completely agree. I'm going to get to your questions in just a second, guys. So what we could see is a continuation of this reversal, if it was, you know, if it was a trend reversal, and I don't think it was, by the way, just because of the volume. Let's look at the volume now, 14 billion. It's good, but it's a red day, but volume is still holding up very well within this consolidation pattern, so I am liking that, all right? If this was a trend reversal, then it definitely looks like perhaps we cross this line and go into CME futures day 1 of July, Q3, and we could continue our way up. Alternatively, maybe we just reverse back down, all right? I don't know. This is, like like you said, actually, what's your name? Pygos. I mean, this is a no-trade zone, all right? It's just not a good idea to be making trades. Now, I've had some questions. Where would I feel confident with Bitcoin, all right? Because I sold my Bitcoin, like I said, at $6,400. And that's like a goodbye kind of sell. You know, I'm not planning on putting it back in until we see prices that are like half of this level. You know, 4,000, you know, those kinds of $4,000, $3,000. That's what I'm looking at. That's why I've got the thumbnail of this video being $3,000. All right, that is an amount of money that I can double my Bitcoin balance with if I buy in cheaper. But, you know, I would feel confident with this if we reach 6,800 and we breach it with volume. With volume, I'm talking 20 billion, 25 billion, very, very high levels of volume, you know, pushing double what we have right now. And I would have a complete shift in my sentiment if we breach this resistance line. And at the moment, that is $7,800. It does line up very well, but I just don't think we're going to breach it, all right? Unless these futures things turn out to save us. Definitely possible. You know, like I said, we're going to give it a week, maybe 2 or 3, and see what happens. We could go completely sideways for these next 2 or 3 weeks, or we could get sent right back down. You know, that would count as a reversal. Or, you know, if we do go sideways for these 2-3 weeks, with the CME and SIBO futures dates being, you know, just 3 days apart, it's likely that we do slowly begin our ascension. All right, it's possible. So I'm not ruling that out. But I would much rather lose out on those profits. You know, like I said, I sold 20%. I'm okay with still keeping that in fiat until we reach above 7,800. All right, it's going to mean that I've missed out on what, 10, 15, maybe 20% profit. I'm all right with that. All right, I'm perfectly fine because I'm going to get confirmation of the uptrend, and, you know, you better believe if we do, you know, whether we go up or down, we're going to be shorting or longing that, right? And we're going to make those exponential profits once again. So I am okay with it if I've missed out on those profits, and I think if you guys are doing the same thing, you should be fine with it as well, because it is not a big deal. You know, if you lose, say, 15%, but you still make 2 or 3x gains, are you really going to complain? All right, you just won't. That's not how it works. But with that, I mean, that's my TA done, guys. I'm going to go through your questions. Can you show that 7,800 resistance line, please? Sure, I can. Let's go ahead and plot that, actually. So 7,800 right here. So, I mean, let's call this the crucial intersection point. You know, we're talking within 8 days if we can climb up to here, and I just do not see it happening. I just don't. I don't. Anything is possible, especially with these future dates. We all know about the manipulation, and for those who aren't aware, futures contracts are traded by pretty, you know, people with deep pockets, and let's actually switch off all the indicators here. What we can see is you know, directly following each of these significant future dates, there is a price reversal. So we had the biggest one back in December, and then everyone following, there is a price reversal, all right? So that is very important information. And so within this downtrend, the only reversal can be going up, and we already are going up, you know, up to 6,400. Maybe we continue our way up, all right? I don't know. You know, maybe it just turns out to be another rising wedge like this that plays out for, you know, 2 weeks. It's hard to know. Hello from East London. Awesome, yeah, I'm from London as well. Love your live stream. So glad to hear someone that is passionate about crypto like me, whether it's going up or down. It's so exciting. Yeah, Connie, it absolutely is. I mean, you know, it doesn't matter which way it goes, especially if we can be shorting or longing it. You know, we're still gonna. Hey, Connie, wanna hang? We're still gonna make massive profits. Trading $600 swings, and we're already making exponential gains. You can only imagine what's going to happen, you know, when we go down to levels like, if we go down to levels like those, you know, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, or if we go up to 11,600, you know, push all-time highs, all right? I mean, it's possible. We've got Arthur Hayes, the CEO and founder of BitMEX, co-founder, calling $50,000 by the end of year for Bitcoin, and one of the big reasons he thinks it's going to happen is the ETFs, all right? So, are the ETFs, rather. So, you know, it's still possible that we get a bull run within this year. I'm personally leaning towards no. Hello from Wales, awesome. I'm personally leaning towards no, but you can't rule it out, and that's why I don't like trading in this area right now. You know, when I have my leverage position, my margin positions open, I've got them open for a short period of time, and then I'm closing them as soon as I can. All right, that's why when I make my signals, all right, you know, we go over to this 4-hour chart. I could have signaled that we're going up anytime over here, because while we were at these levels, I was considering saying maybe I think we're going to go long, but I don't want to share it in case I'm wrong. But, you know, when I felt like we were nearing the end of this consolidation pattern, that's when I called it, because I would not feel comfortable having a position open for this long compared to having it open for just a few hours before we pump. And, well, you know, there's no technical way to find out when you know, when we're ready to go up. There are a few things you could use, but nothing concrete. A lot of that just comes from, you know, what you feel in your gut. You know, just unfortunately, kind of instinctual. And I wish there was a way to explain it and describe it, but unfortunately, I just can't think of the words. Here in South Texas, awesome. I hope to visit. What's it? Austin? I don't know. Something like that. What exactly are ETFs? I still didn't get it exactly. So ETFs are, I think, coming with Nasdaq, and what it allows is sort of the layman and a lot of other people in the mainstream investment sphere to get into Bitcoin, and I believe it's trading derivatives. So it's not actual Bitcoin, but it's paper Bitcoin. You know, if that makes sense. So they're still going to be trading the actual price of Bitcoin, but it's going to be a lot like BitMEX. So, for example, if we go over to the BitMEX chart, it's called XBT, all right? They call it XBD, so it's not Bitcoin that we're trading, and so we can call it a derivatives. You know, it comes from Bitcoin, it's drawn from Bitcoin, but it's not Bitcoin. It's just a paper form, all right? So that's what ETFs are. I hope that made sense. If I'm not I might even be completely wrong about that. It is possible that the new futures could cause continuation of bear trend. Kim, yes it is, and given how there's no buyer support, my phone is going crazy right now, let me put this on silent. You know, given how there's no buyer support at the moment, you know, a lot of it is just bots and, you know, these are cheap prices, but where are the buyers? I mean, where are the institutional investors pumping up bags, right? So given all of that, that's not going to change, all right, with this futures thing that's lining up. And so it is definitely possible. It's not even going to signal anything. We're just going to continue our way back down. You know, that's why I'm exchange traded funds. Yeah, that's why I'm only focusing on the short-term trends, all right? Because I have no idea, you know, by December the 31st this year, are we going to be at $3,000 or are we going to be at $25,000? I have no clue, all right? But what I do know, what I can guess, what I can speculate on, and with relative accuracy, is what is going to happen within the next 24, 48, or 72 hours, all right? These relatively short / mid-term trends, these are what you can predict, these are what you can profit from. And so by December 31st, wow, I can't even think of the gains we'll have, especially if we're shorting, because you make money faster when you short. When you're in a downtrend, the money comes in faster. All right, that's it's like a general rule. I mean, it's the silent people that never talk, that never come on these streams, that aren't on crypto Twitter, you know, wearing those big suits, right? They are among the people shorting it right now and making insane profits. And you know, it's just not spoken about. I mean, it puzzles me why people are turning away from the market just because it's going down, because there's still so much opportunity to profit. You know, like I said, I'm up to my all-time high this month, and well, last month now, because it's July now. Switch off your phone sounds. Yeah, I did. Bitcoin is only fueled by speculation. Absolutely agree. You know, we need, yeah, big players like Amazon starts accepting it. I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. Or your local store price would explode. I don't even think local stores, because I've got, you know, there are many local stores that do accept it, but it's just not, you know, it's not a big deal. And what it needs is FOMO. So like I always say, what needs to happen is people really feeling like they've missed out on those gains and seeing other people, like I always say, like us, making profits. And until that happens, until that starts hitting the headlines of mainstream news outlets, we're not going to see FOMO, and so Bitcoin isn't going to start another parabolic run. And that's going to take time. You know, I called it many months ago that this must have been like February or something, where I was considering that maybe we are playing out this bubble pop. You know, what I said is we need the technology to evolve a little bit. And as that happens, as it gets better, a bull run may start. Is that a bull flag on the 1 hour? Let's go over to the 1 hour. Yeah, so like I said, I mean, if you're talking about this, I think you are. Yeah, like I said, this is potentially, you know, a bull flag, falling wedge. I think this would be a falling wedge. I don't know, I might be mistaken. But Yeah, I think it's a possibility, right? So that's why I said 64 may not be the top. I just don't see us rising above, especially given the longs and shorts, but it's still possible, and that's why I'm not in any margin positions at the moment, because it's just too risky. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, for those of you who missed it, guys, 300 views, if you can smash those likes. You know, like I said near the beginning, you want to be going short or long near key levels, so that's why I gave the long signal when we were at the key level of 5800, and if you want to go short, the only key level here is 6800, so I just don't think it's worth shorting until we get definite confirmation that 6400 was the top, and at the moment we don't have it. Yeah, shorting definitely made me some good gains. I personally short on Kraken. It's not much more risky. You just have your stop, just like with going long, unless you just hodl. Yeah, no, wherever you do it, Kraken, Bitfinex, Bitmax, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you can still, you know, you can still make mad profits doing that. Darren, if XBT is just paper Bitcoin, can I send Bitcoin from my BitMEX to another wallet? Yes, you can. So the idea is you're trading in Bitcoin's equivalent value in USD, but the way you get that USD to trade with is putting Bitcoin into your BitMEX account, and when you're done, when you're ready, when you've made your 10x gain by being in VIP, you can go ahead and send that Bitcoin out, withdraw it, and it's just like a normal exchange. So you trade in XBT, but the value comes from actual Bitcoin. It's a bit complicated, but I think they've done it the right way. It would have been a lot harder to trade on BitMEX if you don't, if you had to use real fiat gateways. So I really like what they've done. Chris, how much have you made shorting? But I mean, like I said, it's been my most profitable trading month ever. So it's been pretty good. What for you is a definite confirmation that 6400 was the top? Blue Bone, that's a very good question that I don't even know the answer to. So it's kind of just a wing it, you know, a situation of me winging it. I mean, I'm just going to take it by the day, by the hour. And if it starts feeling like it, you know, like I said, it kind of just, it's a gut reaction, right? So I can't really put it into words. It's the same way I didn't have definite confirmation 58 was the bottom. It's just that I knew it was a fairly good support area. What I'm going to look for is probably another wick up and then a rejection. That's going to be pretty good. But, I mean, I think it's already pretty clear, you know, if we look at the 4-hour chart. Let's go ahead and turn this Ichimoku cloud back on. And, you know, we've got this Ichi resistance. We've got, on the daily, this EMA resistance, which is extremely tough to break. That's going to take a massive bot pump. I don't even think humans can, you know, unless there's a concentrated group, but I'm talking about the entire crypto community. I don't even think we can pump that. It's going to have to be a person or a group of people with deep pockets to actually pump us above this EMA resistance. And it's possible because, you know, I'm saying it, a lot of other people are saying it, that we're so bearish, and so it's possible it does send us higher. You know, RSI still has a lot of room to go up before it becomes overbought. But in terms of definite confirmation that we've seen the top, I wish I knew how to say it, man. I just don't. So I'm going to take this by the day, by the hour, and see how I feel, really, above all. Div asked what to do now. I'm new on crypto. I would say sit back and see how it plays out. Maybe use the testnet version of BitMEX and see if you can trade a little bit, be a little bit positive. Make some profits. Yeah, that's what I would do. Confirmation is when it hits below 5600. Yes, but that is quite a way down, and you can make pretty good profits shorting it down there. So, you know, yeah, that's my stance. Conflicting signals is what Bitcoin is giving us at the moment. Pygos, completely agree. It's you know, it's hard to read at the moment. It's very hard to read what's going on. You know, what I'm going off is the previous trends that have played out every single time without fail. These rising wedges, which we're in another one of. You know, it still means we can rise higher. I mean, we extend this. Let's say this goes on for 2 weeks. How long would that be? Let's actually get a gauge of how long. So that would be 21 days, exactly 3 weeks. So I wouldn't even be, like I said, we could have sideways movement after these futures, and you know that we're talking what, another 2 weeks now, something like that, a week and a half. Yeah, 2 weeks. So we can definitely go sideways and stay within this rising wedge, maybe drop to the bottom and then go back up. I don't know, but I can see it happening for a decent while, going even up to 6,800, and that would be a pretty good area to short it, really. Yeah, but it's hard to, it's pumping now. Yeah, just, I mean, you know, $70, whatever, you know. Like I said earlier in this stream, you can go long here and you would make profits. It's just, you know, you're only going to make profits until you don't. So, not very reliable. Seeing so much euphoria over the $70 pump in this comment section. I mean, you guys, you know, you see what I mean, right? When I said that we are just rubber banding between these emotions right now. You know, this is the same as every single other pump we had, taking us up to 6,400. You know, it's just classic bot movement. Bull flag. Look at this bull flag playing out. I mean, look, I don't mean to put you down, man, but nah, I don't think so. I don't think so, bro. You know, yeah, that's not. I mean, that's me. You're welcome to have your own. You know, like I said, none of this is financial advice. I'm just giving information to you and letting you make your own decisions. So happy to have my laptop back, guys. They've actually replaced the entire display and it feels brand new. It's pretty dope. I have Binance. Can I do short or long? No, you can't, unfortunately. So you're gonna have to sign up on BitMEX or Bitfinex or Kraken for that. Was a bullish flag potentially, but within a rising wedge. Bear in mind. So the overarching, you know, this is, you know, it's a bull flag on the 4 hour and 1 hour, but, you know, we've got a rising wedge on the 1 day, and this is the dominant trend. So don't focus on these small, you know, short-term movements. It's much better looking at daily 6 4-hour candles. Yeah, exactly, Pygos. I mean, I get some questions about this. Why do I use the time frames I do? 4 hours is perfect, I find, for Bitcoin, given how volatile it is. But you know, six up to a day, 8 hours even, you know, daily candles are amazing as well for the long-term trend. You know, it tells us very clearly about these rising wedges. It tells us about this firm downtrend. You know, the idea is you don't want to fight these trends. You know, the best way to make profits is to trade the continuation patterns, and I've already made a separate video on this. It's called, I don't know, chart analysis. I don't know, you can find it. You've probably already seen it. It's one of the newest videos, how to chart Bitcoin and stuff like that. I don't know, I forgot the title, but you make the most profits if you trade these continuation trends. I mean, if you're trying to catch reversals, first of all, they only, you know, all of these ways down, you could have traded the continuations, but you only get, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, what, like 6, 7 maybe reversal patterns in 6 months, whereas you could be making much better profits just trading the continuations. So what I do is I stay away from the reversals, alright? You know, the major trend reversals, because we don't know when that's going to happen. It's kind of unpredictable, but the continuations, very easy to predict. So that's what I do. We've got a doji here, guys. An indicator I wanted to show you. I think you guys will like it. I was actually going to make a separate video on this, but for you live viewers, because I know no one's going to watch this far in the replay, for you live viewers, what is it? I've forgotten the name. Wow. Candle simple, something like that. Nah, I forgot. That's annoying, isn't it? Oops. Well, it tells you what each candle is, you know, whether the candle is bullish, whether the candle's a doji, stuff like that. I'm going to find the name in a bit, and I'll share it with you in that dedicated video, I guess. So I'm going to be teasing you a little bit. I've got like 3-4 messages about VIP, guys. I'm going to message you and get back to you in just a second. Thank you for getting in touch. Can you explain what you offer in your VIP service? Yes, I can. You know, let me pull up the full information. You know, really what it is it's an extension of gold. So you get more signals, you get more detail. So for example, the exact numbers I am entering positions. But I think above all, you know, getting in these getting in these signals and making profits is relatively easy, just because of our success rate. But where it becomes a little bit more challenging for a lot of people, the second major hurdle to overcome for new traders is knowing when to take profits, because, you know, you're up 50% and suddenly you've got visualizations of a new Lambo and you've got this idea of getting that new mansion for your wife or whatever. kill that, all right? And that's what we do in VIP. We kill that emotion. I give you specific numbers, all right? I'm closing 10% hair. If I were you, I'd close another 15% hair, and make sure your stop loss is hair. Very guided. Again, none of this is financial advice, of course, but candlestick patterns identified. Thank you. I think that's it, Jay Lee. Yeah, I think that's it. Is that it? Let's see. Yes, that is. Yeah, I mentioned. Yeah, the one I was using had a different name actually, but this is exactly what it is. So thank you so much, Jay Lee, for mentioning that. Bullish Harami. Never even heard of Harami, but bullish candle, bearish. I mean, this tells you about these trend reversals, and we can see it playing out occasionally where we had this bearish engulfing and then we went down, right? And we had this bullish engulfing and we started a rising wedge. So, it's not completely accurate, but, back here, bearish engulfing and we go down, bullish engulfing and we go up, all right? So it's not 100% accurate. If you shorted here expecting to, to get down to 5,800, but your liquidation was just a couple $100 higher, you would have gotten screwed. So obviously this is why you use low leverage. I'm finding it so hard to speak today. But of course, if you're trying to trade these longs, I mean, this is fighting the trend. This is going against the trend, and obviously don't do that. I mean, not financial advice, but I would never do that because you can't really make good profits that way. So it's always better to short the bounces, I've found, especially in a downtrend, that is. Congress hearing on crypto is this Wednesday. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, we'll have to see what they say. I think US has been a lot more positive toward crypto recently. I'm really liking their stances. How to get access to VIP? Go ahead and join the Telegram channel. The link is in the description. And I leave my name at the bottom of all gold posts, so you can click on that at 4Flies. And join and message me, and I'll give you the details to join VIP. Up now. Yeah, seeing seeing a lot of funny sentiment here, I think. Guys, if we've got any last questions, we'll take them before I do sign off. Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover in this stream, guys. 37 minutes long. We've hit about the average for all these live streams. I think this was one of the longer ones. Guys, if you have any specific ideas for, TA videos you want me to put out, definitely let me know. And I will look into that. Like I said, I'm going to do one on the EMA ribbon. I've already done one on the Ichi cloud. I've already done one on the actual candles. The candle patterns. Question, when talking about 10x leverage, if you invest $100 and the bet goes right, you get $1,000 back, or how does it work? So good question, Radiant. Okay, so with 10x leverage, let's say you have $100 and now you're trading with $1,000. Let's throw the idea of leverage away for a second, and let's say you get a 10% profit on $100. All right, that's going to take you up to $110. Now, where leverage becomes so lucrative is you get the profits of your entire position. So you've got $100 in, and you're playing with $1,000, but with a 10% profit, you get $100 on 1,000, right? So 1,000 times 1.1 is 100. So you've got a 10% profit there, and you take the profits, all right? You don't take the leverage they give you, but you take the profits from that leverage. And so $100 with a $100 profit is a 2x gain. So if you trade a 10% swing on 10x leverage, you've doubled your position, and that is a very big, 10% is not much for Bitcoin. So it's incredibly lucrative. You just, it's amazing, but at the same time you run a massive risk. If you are interested, go ahead and type in 4Flies BitMEX in the YouTube search bar, and it will come up. It's how to double your portfolio. I've done it many times playing on BitMEX. Not my entire portfolio, but the positions I put in. Bitcoin probabilities are high to go up to 100,000 than $3,000. That's funny, Kevin. I wish it was. I don't know, though. Power, any thoughts? Not really looking at alts at the moment. All alts will continue to underperform. Let's actually check them out now. yeah, it's mainly 0 to 5%. We've got 21 on Steam here. Didn't even know Steam exists up until now. Yeah, so really not doing too much. Of course, on a day like this, outperforming Bitcoin a little bit, but in general, please make a video on how to short. Nikki, I did. Go ahead and type in 4Flies BitMEX, and you'll find it. But yeah, in general, when Bitcoin's going down, alts will go down harder, as is always the case. So, yeah, I think I'm actually going to be wrapping it up here. A video on how to short. Like I said, guys, I've already done it. I might make another one because there's such high demand for it. If we can smash those likes real quick, I will be signing off in just a second. My final thoughts, I think we've seen the top. I'm waiting for further confirmation that 6,400 was the top, and if it was, I will give the signal to short. You guys are, of course, welcome to do whatever you like. None of this is financial advice. Be careful, shorting is not easy. Yes, Mr. Robbery, it absolutely is not. And even if you have stop losses, you're still losing. Yeah, Mr. Robbery, the idea is, alright, we are open to losses. Alright, in VIP, losses are going to happen. They haven't been happening, but they will happen eventually. But with our success rate of signals that go right compared to signals that go wrong, I think there's only one that went wrong this month. You're still going to make massive profits. Even if the stop loss gets triggered and your position is closed, the rest of the trades are positive, right? And because of that, you're still going to make exponential gains. That's my take on it. You guys are welcome. Would love to see a video on how to play stops. I might do that, but Piotr, there's not much depth when it comes to placing stops. It's not, you can't really go into it much. But yeah, guys, if you are interested in VIP, then definitely hit me up. I just want to go through these messages again. I mean, it's blown me away. So many people making insane profits. Again, 400%. I think this was the highest we had in our VIP group from that day. But still, 400% is a 5x gain. And over here repaying the entire cost for months, but only being in VIP for 4 days. So that's a pretty big deal. Yeah, that was, yeah. I actually didn't get a chance to play that long because it was the day I sent my laptop off for repairs. And so, I was talking to the Apple Store guys. I was like, look, I need this done quickly because time is money in this space. And alas, it was because I couldn't get my long in, and that was upsetting because I think with my position I would have had a 3x gain myself, but seeing the results of VIP was, I think, more fulfilling than the results I would have had personally. When setting a stop loss on BitMEX, do you set the stop for the opposite value of open position? For example, if you have 100 contracts short, stop set for 100 contracts at a higher value. I'm sorry, I didn't understand you, Gibbles Bits. If you're the guy in the VIP group, because I think you've got a similar name, message me in PMs and I will work through that with you. We can jump on a call. Does your liquidation price stay the same if Bitcoin rises on a long? Yes, it does. Liquidation price does not change unless you take money away from your position or you add money in. If you put more money in, your liquidation price goes further away, and if you take it out, it comes closer. Are the charts or trading usually the same as on BitMEX and Bitfinex, since BitMEX is not available in US? The charts are the same, yes. Yeah, they are the same. I didn't really understand the other part of your question. Mark, you're welcome. But yeah, guys, I am going to be signing off at 44 minutes, pushing the all-time highs for our stream. I think it was 59. But yeah, guys, it's been a pleasure. I hope you have found something useful out of it. I hope you've learned something. And if not, that's a shame. I'm going to be signing off here, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm sorry for the inconveniences yesterday, alright? I felt really bad getting like 90 people ready for the stream and then just dropping that hype. So, I'm sorry for that. My overall take is I'm still bearish. I wish I wasn't, but, we've got to be realistic, alright? So that's my take on things, guys. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And, yeah, let's stay green. Just a quick note, everyone getting excited about that $70 pump, and we're already going back down. Guys, these things do not sustain themselves. There is no use looking at these short term, there's no use looking at anything less than the 1 hour chart. And even the 1 hour, I only use sparingly, alright? I just don't like using it very often. It's too short term. But 4 hour is good, 6, 8, 1 day. is what I stick to. All right, but thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I am going to be signing off now. Peace.